everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Dear Monster. This might be it, you guys. We might be at the end of Hikmat's route. So let's get to it. It might be a long one. But I... hopefully my voice and everything will hang in there. So let's get through this. Want to see how this ends, because I don't remember. Ellen? Alan just collapsed. Oh, right, so you can exhaust yourself using magic. I blink stupidly at Hikmat, and he opens his mouth to say something, but then the air explodes with a flash of power, and I hear an alarmed cry somewhere behind me. Oh no. No, I know that sound. And this is kind of where he hangs out, right? I was just thinking. I was like, we haven't seen him in a while. I was just thinking that last episode because I mentioned him a couple times. I think I might have summoned him by thinking about him last episode. No. Please let me be wrong, but I don't think I am. No! You! Farron! Why? Legit. I see this name and I'm like, cursed. Cursed name. Why? Why? Everything was going well. They were happy. I mean, yeah, Alan's not, I mean, he's tired, but, like, Hikmat's got it, you know? He's right here. He'll carry him back. He's just a little tired. His familiar is literally right here. He's just tired from training. He's fine. He doesn't need you. Ugh. We're almost done, and now you're gonna show up and try to throw some angst in. Ugh, mother. I should have known. I should have known we couldn't go the rest of this route without you stirring up some shit. Like, we already dealt with some shit from Momo, and we got through it, and I think we were fine, but no, of course. Of course. Of course. Of course. I was surprised that you kind of weren't starting something. I was like, oh, Farron is not going to interfere. That's pretty good. I thought, oh, maybe the only person he gives a hard time to is Empress, but no, I was wrong. Oh, I was wrong. Oh, okay. Okay, calm down, Banks. I can't stand you, you punk ass. I can't stand you. Alan, you need to get on the telephone, the telepathic telephone with other Allens. Y'all need to talk about this. Farron, no. You need to tell the other Allen to break up with his ass. This cannot continue. He needs to be kicked out. No. Even Momo is better than Farron, okay? Fuck this guy. Fuck this unicorn. Fuck you. I'm angry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be swearing. Ooh, I'm heated. I really cannot stand. I need to play through the good ending again of Farron to see what happens and to maybe tolerate him a little better, because I remember that he kind of redeemed himself a little, but even still, I hate him. Oh, Binks, calm down. Calm down. I cannot explain it. I cannot explain why I hate him so much. I don't know. They did a great job writing him, if I can't stand him this much. Ooh. There's only a few characters, if you guys have watched my other game playthroughs, that get to me like this. Kokichi is one. Kameda. But Kokichi is definitely one. Farron, you are up there now, Farron. You are up there. I think you might even dethrone Kokichi at this point. Like, literally, Farron, I think I freaking hate you the most now. Like, I can't even with you. I see your name and I get triggered. Like, oh. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Hey, but anyway. Alan! I can't even remember the voice I can't even do this. Ugh. I don't remember the voice I get. You fucking God, I don't know. Hikmat, what happened? No, I don't even remember the voice I gave him. Like, I just hate him so much. I don't even want to voice him. God dang it.
Leave. It's nothing serious. His energy is depleted, but I can restore it. Back off, bitch. He's mine.
Oh, get him, Hikmat. Get him.
You should not be overworking him.
I think it was something like that.
Ellen is not used to magic. Ellen, do not allow him to push you harder than you...
Do you believe that my impatience brought us here? If he reaches his limit, he is capable of telling me so. He is an adult.
I didn't realize I was getting so tired.
You should be more aware of your own limits. I will guide you through your magic reserves, so that you can be more careful in the future.
It isn't his fault, Hikmat. You should have done so from the start. And you should be able to feel if he's reaching his limit. The way you train him is reckless. This is not something I would expect from you.
I'll shove it, you jerk.
Your input is unnecessary. This doesn't concern you, so please leave us.
Come to me if you need anything, dear Alan. I am a more experienced healer than Hikmat.
Debatable.
I shall not argue with you, Hikmat. Not when you're like this.
Jerk.
I apologize. As the one with more magic knowledge and experience, I am responsible for your well-being when we train. I suppose I was too eager to see what you can accomplish. But improving one's skills should never be more important than one's health, and I neglected yours. Can you forgive me?
See, he learned. It's fine. Back off, jerk.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm kind of at fault here too. I tend to get lost in what I do. You have no idea how many times I fell asleep on my desk, my nose in some book.
I'll replenish your reserves, but only partially. It will be better for you to expand them by regenerating your magic naturally, with food and rest. You should go to the kitchen and have dinner afterwards.
I hope that that's all we see of that pansy ass. That it was just one quick little dig at us and that's it. I don't know, man. Him showing up now has me worried. Ooh, that long... I don't know.
Okay. Are you going to rest too?
Does it matter?
It matters to me. You always seem tired, but I've never seen you sleep.
I am not tired.
You sure?
I am older than the majority of your world-standing civilizations. You don't need to impose a bedtime on me, I assure you.
I wasn't trying to. I'm just worried about you. His expression turns from annoyed to incredulous. He stares at me for a moment longer, then averts his gaze and sighs.
I appreciate your concern, but to me sleep is not a priority, not when I have work to do.
You're always working. Do you even sleep at all? Or eat?
When necessary.
Hikmat, have dinner with me?
Hikmat blinks at me, like this is the absolute strangest question I could have asked.
Why?
Because I want to spend time with you. Just have fun and talk about stuff. Stuff other than magic or practice. You promised me a date, remember? When we went to that desert? His eyebrows knit together, his eyes boring into mine, like I presented him with a riddle he couldn't quite solve. Honestly, this guy.
All right, I suppose.
Really?
If you did not want me to agree, why offer?
It's not... I wanted you to say yes, obviously, but I didn't think you would.
My tests concerning your magic are complete. We also discovered what made you suppress your power. The barrier, that is still unknown. But the test results won't be ready for some time, and even then I might have to analyze this matter further. You requested to have dinner with me. Right now, I can make time in my schedule. Why would I not agree?
To be honest, sometimes you act like spending time with me is a major inconvenience.
It is not, but it's been a long time since I am simply not used to interacting with someone as much as I have with you. But I find it oddly satisfying. Enjoyable, even.
That's good. Happy to hear that. I mean, me too. Being with you makes me happy.
Yes, well, let us go.
Yeah, not gonna let Farron ruin it. Well, if it isn't our newest resident, I was starting to think Momo made you drink yourself to death. Or that you two got fucked out of existence by that plant of Hikmat's. Oh no, he knows everything. Oh no! You were certainly loud enough for us to consider the possibility.
Of course you heard that.
Everyone heard it, kid. You've got lungs on you. Pretty sure everyone's jealous of you right now, Hikmat.
I do not care.
Sagathor rolls his eyes. You say that, but you're preening worse than Momo. I glance over at Hikmat. Is he really? But I doubt you came in here to discuss your vocal ranges.
Alan needs to eat.
I figured. And you? Coffee?
I intend to eat with him.
Aww. Sagathor's shocked. He's like, holy shit, really? Slagathor looks between us both, his eyes wide as saucers, and then barks out a laugh. Wow, kid, you're really good for him, huh? I can't get this guy to eat ever, and you bat your eyelashes once. Or did you just wear him out?
Stop it.
I'm going to die of embarrassment before we eat. Alright, alright. What would you like? Anything's on the menu unless I don't have it. What do you usually eat? Fruit mostly. Can occasionally get him to eat roasted birds, but that's usually heavier than he wants. Can't get him to eat a proper salad though. Guess lettuce isn't in a jackal's diet. Can't forget bread though, and cheese.
Are we done?
So you don't like salad, huh? What about steak? Hikmat gives an almost imperceptible twitch. Sagathor, however, doesn't bat an eyelash. From what? Huh? From a cow? From a bull? Bison? Minotaur? Minotaur steak? Huh, just messing with you. We don't eat minotaurs. We're not monsters. They technically are, but I decide not to argue. Can you make some of his favorites? A thoughtful date, I can appreciate that. And for you? I kinda miss the food from my world. Can you make me a burger and french fries? Oh, and a milkshake? Sure thing. Let me get all of this put together. That's a lot of work, dude. 2 different meals. God, Slagathor, marry me. Give me all that food, please. To just be able to just cook all that stuff like that, you know? I miss milkshakes. I miss them so much. Being lactose intolerant is like the worst torture. Why? Why? I'm already in hell. It really sucks. Slagathor moves around the kitchen, preparing our food, while Hikmat and I stand awkwardly against one wall. Or rather, I stand awkwardly. Hikmat just exudes an aura of being some ancient statue, part of the decor, impervious to the social anxiety I feel. Eventually, Slagathor speaks again.
Eating in here?
No.
Huh?
Put it in a basket. We will eat in the greenhouse.
A picnic? That's so cute! Who are you and what have you done with Hikmat? Alright, here.
Slegathor packs the food and hands it to Hikmat. Like this is totally normal. Before I can say anything, Hikmat takes it and walks straight out of the kitchen, leaving me no choice but to follow. Ooh, date night. It's really cute. Hikmat heads straight for the greenhouse, then settles on the grass. I join him. Without a word, he starts to take out the food inside the basket. So, you usually eat in here?
Yes.
That's nice. Sure beats eating out in the woods with all the bugs.
Insects do not approach me regardless.
They don't?
Most natural creatures sense death in my presence and thus choose to stay away.
Dude! Stay near me! I don't want bugs anywhere near me. Please. Please. Seriously. I mean, the only thing that would be sad is then you wouldn't have, like, other cute creatures, like cats and dogs and bunnies near you either. That's kind of sad.
I see.
Aren't you lonely?
Lonely?
I mean, you're always alone. Forget about the bugs, but I haven't seen anyone else in here. None of the guys come to visit you. Probably because you told them not to, right?
That is correct.
Doesn't it make you sad sometimes? To be all alone? His movements still, his hands resting on the food he was about to take out. For a long while, he doesn't say anything. When he finally speaks, his voice is deep and thoughtful.
I never thought of it that way. I suppose after so many millennia, I became accustomed to solitude. I had my duties and things I wished to accomplish. I was comfortable in my routine. But now I have you, so I'm no longer alone.
He looks at me strangely, like the last words caught him off guard as much as me. For a moment, we stare at each other in total silence. Then, he drops his gaze, his cheeks flooding with red. I clear my throat. Yeah, I never really had time to get close to anyone enough to, but I'm glad I met you. When we're together, I'm happy. I smile at him, and he goes back to placing the food on the grass, still avoiding eye contact. As usual, Slegathor's food looks and smells delicious, and when I dig in, the taste is out of this world. Even Hikmat makes a soft pleased sound as he bites into a loaf of odd bread with scone-like texture and what looks like berries in it. What's that?
Ah, date bread. Slegathor has tried many iterations of it, and each one grows closer to the way I recall it from my youth.
I think I've heard of that date bread. Because dates are like a fruit, right? Which I don't see a lot of people eating them, but I've heard of them mentioned. Are they similar to raisins or something? So is it something like that he used to eat in like ancient Egypt then?
It's not perfect, but I still enjoy it.
It's a comfort food. Hikmat has a comfort food. I laugh, and he raises an eyebrow at me. Hey, wanna try some of mine? Oh, that's so cute! I forgot about this! That's so funny to see Hikmat trying to eat a french fry. Oh, that's really cute. Love it. You pick up a french fry and hold it close to Hikmat's face. He's like, what's all this? Covered in oil. He scrunches up his nose, his eyes narrowing, like I've just presented him with garbage. No, french fries are really good. Even if they're not that healthy, they're good. Aw, look at them. They look so freaking gorgeous and cute. God, I love them. I love them. Ugh, they're so cute. They're such a cute couple. I adore them. God, this is why I love this game.
Him and Imris and him and Hikmat, they're my favorites. They're so cute. So pretty. Look how pretty. Hikmat, you're so pretty, and Alan is so cute. Oh my god, love you. Mwah. The artist, you're so good. Like, if I ever made a game, I would totally want to hire the same artist. Like, please draw my characters. They're so pretty. They're so pretty. Okay, I'll stop. Sorry. Just drooling.
I don't believe this food is suitable for me.
Oh, come on. You live only once. Yeah, I mean, you've lived for thousands of years, but you get my point. Besides, it's good. Trust me. Watch him become addicted to french fries, like all of us are.
Very well then.
He opens his mouth. I stare at him stupidly for a moment before I realize he wants me to feed him. My hand shakes slightly as I put the fry in his mouth. He chews and swallows. Then he drinks the milkshake while I hold the cup.
It's surprisingly good.
Yeah, and you had some milkshake. Good for you. Watch him be lactose intolerant too. He's like, Ellen, why have you done this to me? Ugh. He suffers. No, poor Hikmat. See? I told you.
I suppose humans will always remain partial to fat and sugar.
Of course we are. We eat together. Hikmat nibbles on his food, taking very delicate bites, but I notice that he will not stop midway through a dish. If he takes a single bite, he eats the whole thing, waits a moment, and then moves on to the next. It's like he's scared to leave something unfinished. He catches me watching him. He looks between the berries in his hand and me, meeting my gaze.
I grew up on floodplains. Such an environment could be very prosperous, or drive the whole region to famine. It depended on the temper of the waters. One learns to appreciate food when one has it and to never waste it. Even though food is abundant here and I don't even truly need to eat, it's a habit not to leave anything unfinished.
Yeah, I get that. I always feel guilty. Always, if I have to throw away any bit of food. I hate doing that. I always feel guilty. It's been ingrained in my brain for like the longest time. And I think that's why I easily gained weight was because of like a lot of Latino families, the grandparents especially, will kind of guilt you into eating more food, you know? And then when you gain weight, then a lot of them unfortunately will be the first to be like, ah, está gordita. You know, like they'll make comments. Even though they mean well, they'll be the first to be like, oh, you're gaining weight. Oh, look, you're a little chubby, you know? It's like, well, what do you expect? You're the one who's making stuff that's high calorie, and whenever I come over, you're, stuffing me and telling me to eat more, and then making me feel guilty if I throw away anything. Society, man. But yeah, I hate wasting food. It's hard if I have to eat something I don't like the taste, or it's hard if I'm like already full and I'm like, oh no, this is too much food. I can't finish it. It's tough. It's tough, dude. Oh, so it's the same image, kind of. Well, at least Hikmat is the same, but Alan has changed. I used to be really picky when I was a kid. But then my parents, they died. My aunt took me in. I remember I didn't like any of the food she made, but I ate it anyway because I was scared she'd get sick of taking care of me. I never asked for anything if it wasn't strictly necessary. And if she cooked something, I just ate it. Now, I'll eat anything.
Theodore told us about your parents. to lose those closest to you, especially when you were so young. It must have been difficult.
I don't even remember their faces, but my mom, she was a doctor, you know? A cardiologist, and a hell of a good one. She helped so many patients. When my parents died, it's like the world lost more than just two people. It lost someone truly special.
Is that why you wish to study medicine? To follow in your mother's footsteps?
Yeah. My aunt has always wanted me to become a doctor, but I also... If I could be like my mom... Hikmat nods. It's not the whole truth, but it still feels like some of the weight lifted from my shoulders. I take a deep breath. I've never told this to anyone.
I see. Thank you for telling me.
Do you remember your parents?
Unfortunately, I do not. I was left on the steps of a house of life, that is, one of numerous medical schools in ancient Egypt. I was taken in and raised by its inhabitants. Eventually, I learned the art of embalming there.
Oh, that's weird. Weird. I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Sorry. Uh-oh. Is this part of the COVID still? I feel like I gotta keep sneezing. No, all of a sudden. Why would they leave him on the steps of a medical school? Strange.
I'm sorry. Do not be. Everyone was kind. I consider myself fortunate to have lived there. About your aunt. While it's good that you've expanded your tastes, you shouldn't deny yourself the right to a preference. If you want something, you should at least feel safe enough to ask for it. What is it?
Hikmat, if I ask you for anything, you get annoyed.
I do not appreciate demands of my time. I have been in command of my own schedule for millennia. Including another person in it is difficult. I'm not saying I wouldn't like to train you, or spend time with you. I simply require to be notified early enough to rearrange things. I hate to rework entire schedules on such short notice.
Okay, so if I want to plan a date with you, it has to be like a few days notice. Gotcha. I guess I understand. I'll try to ask in advance if I want something, so you have time to prepare.
I appreciate that. I will attempt to set aside general periods of availability more often to accommodate you.
You really don't know what a break is, huh? Not that I don't get it. My whole life has been a series of study sessions. When I was a kid, I loved fantasy books. I read like half a book a day. I used to daydream I was transported to fantastic realms, gained incredible skills, became a hero. But then my aunt said I was wasting my time. Besides, there was so much to learn that I just stopped reading those books.
Perhaps you could still go back to that hobby. Our library is full of fiction books of every genre.
Yeah. I don't dislike studying, though. Learning new things, working towards something. Even if you don't accomplish it in the end, it's never meaningless.
Yes, I feel the same way.
And I kinda like watching you work. Blushing. Hehehe.
Well, anyway, you don't have to ask for my time just yet. I have the next several days primarily dedicated to your training.
You do?
Of course, I promise to train you, and therefore, you will be trained appropriately, which requires my full focus.
Thank you. Aw. Look at them communicating and him saving time for him. That's so good. We finish eating, and Hikmat begins to gather the dishes back into the basket.
I will return these to the kitchen. You should sleep.
Hey, Hikmat? Hikmat pauses, looking at me. I stare back at him, my palms sweaty, my heart hammering in my chest. Thank you for eating with me. I get up and stand on my toes, then give him a soft kiss. Oh, how cute. I'm a sucker. Like, it's not even, like, I'm not even into the... Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I'm such a softie that this is what I like the most. Like, the shy little build-up of them falling for each other and the cute little stolen kisses. Like, that's my favorite parts. I think that's super cute. How is it that I've become such a sucker for that stuff more than anything? And then, of course, the H scenes in between, I'm like, yeah. But this stuff, I'm like, yee. I just love it. Oh, you guys are so cute. Love you. Just want to squeeze their cheeks. I feel him stiffen, but only for a moment. His hand comes up to rest on my hip, and he kisses me back. Aww. His fingers slide to my back, stroking it gently. We stand there a moment, our lips connected, and it's almost tender. I feel my chest tighten when he pulls away, but he gives me an apologetic look.
I really do need to take these.
I sigh, but nod slightly, letting him go. He takes the basket and heads to the doorway. He did kiss you back, though. Just before he ducks through it, he hesitates.
You are welcome to remain, if you should choose so.
Oh, you can spend the night with him. Whoa, that's progress. He's gone before I can answer. I decide to graciously accept the invitation. Oh, oh, aren't you eager? And jump out of my clothes, almost falling down during the process. He's so awkward. You're such a dork. Why are you always so awkward with Hikmat? I feel like you weren't this awkward with your other lovers. Unless it's just this version of Alan. He's such a puppy. I figure I have no way of knowing if he was inviting me to have sex or to sleep, but I feel optimistic and climb into the bed. Hikmat's sheets are cool and soft, despite the heat and humidity of the greenhouse around us. It's easy enough to melt into them. I rub my nose against the sheets, inhaling Hikmat's scent. Oh no, I wonder if he jerks off in here. The image of my familiar stroking himself sends shivers down my spine. My stomach tightens and my dick twitches, desperate for attention. Oh, I guess it's gonna happen. Time for some more editing. Oh, y'all gonna get busy, alright. The music says yes, it's time. I think it's gonna be a very passionate one, alright. Now that you guys have truly bonded and are much more romantically interested in each other now. Hikmat reappears in the doorway. He hesitates, watching me, his eyes a shade darker, his muscles tense, and I see the shape of his dick. His head swells under his thin robes. Should I cut it here? After a moment, he crosses the room and stops in front of the bed, beginning to remove some of his jewelry and ornamental pieces. I watch him hungrily until he's standing there naked, looking at me the same way. I move the blanket aside and crawl toward him, but he catches hold of me, dragging me to the edge of the bed. Okay, I can tell, and I think, because remember I told you that Alan's a verse, I guess. He's a switch verse. So I think Alan will be on bottom this time. which is my favorite. I mean, Hikmat has been on bottom most of the time so far, so this will be Alan's first time officially on bottom since they've been together. Should I cut it here? Is this it? Alright, so I was right. Yeah. And it was passionate and lovely. And that he at least he looked at him the whole time. They looked each other in the eyes, very romantic. And Hikmat definitely was having to hold back, and you could tell. Oh, and he also growled. So his jackal side. For a moment we lay there, pressed in close together, catching our breath. I feel at peace. Everything that was wrong with my life, all the hurts and disappointments, they seem smaller. Like maybe someday I'll be able to move past them. Maybe I'll be able to forgive myself? I take Hikmat's hand and give it a little squeeze. He intertwines his fingers with mine. After a while, he pulls away and moves off the bed. I can't manage to form a coherent complaint before he's back with a wet cloth. He cleans us both down. I'm boneless, unable to help much, but grateful for what he's doing. Thanks. To my surprise, he doesn't shoo me away. He disposes of the dirty rag and returns to bed, crawling in alongside me.
There's no need to return to your room or resume training in the morning. No rest.
I give him a soft smile. Good night, Hikmat.
Good night, Alan.
No. I find myself in Grandpa's study, but the whole room is wrecked. Oh, there it is. That stupid thing his aunt taught him. Terrible. Do you think anything has changed? Huh? Just because you're lying there together, do you really think you can forget about the past and forgive yourself? Don't make me laugh. It's not... I never said I'd forget. You think you deserve love? Think again. Remember that day when it was raining so much? Remember how you told your parents, no, stop. It's your fault they died. Don't you dare forget that. I'll make up for... I was going to save people and make up for... Yes, you were going to med school, but you fucked it all up, didn't you? No, I'm still going to help people. I have magic now, and Hikmat's going to teach me. Hikmat doesn't give a fuck about you. He's just settling. As soon as someone better comes along, he'll dump your ass. It's not true. I know he cares about me in his own way. Do you think he'll ever care about you as much as his lover? When it comes down to it, what makes you think he'll choose you? Just because Hikmat loves someone else doesn't mean he can't love me too. I blink. Why didn't I realize it before? I want him to love me because I love him too. Love? He's a fucking corpse. He's been dead inside for thousands of years. He's not capable of love. You're wrong. Maybe he was like that at first, but he's changed. He's still changing. His emotions keep waking up. Every day, I can feel more from him. You're an idiot. Sooner or later, he's going to leave you all alone. I open my mouth to argue, but my doppelganger vanishes before I can. Then the scenery changes. I'm in a desert. I've been here before. I remember Hikmat kneeling on the ground, lifting a handful of sand mixed with the ashes of the dead. I see a shadow that looks like him, but he's walking off towards someone in the distance. I can't call out to him. My voice isn't working. I can't move my legs to chase him either. fog is rolling along the ground, and it builds around him, obscuring him from view. He's going. No, he can't leave. Alan. I can hear him. Alan.
Hikmat? You seem to be having a nightmare.
Yeah. I run a hand over my face. Thanks for waking me up.
Of course. You have been sleeping poorly ever since you arrived at the mansion.
I guess I sleep poorly all the time. I have nightmares. A lot. But I think they're getting worse. A lot of old stuff. Things I sort of forgot about.
You repressed your magic early in childhood. It's possible you repressed traumatic memories as well, and recovering one has dug forth the other. Perhaps gaining control of your magic will aid you in sorting through the rest.
That would be nice. For the next few days we train. Hikmat is a demanding teacher, and each new task is harder than the last one. But I learn fast, gaining more control over my magic with every skill I acquire. We still don't know what the barrier around the mansion truly is, but each day I think about it less. Being with Hikmat makes me happy, and if this life is all I'll ever have, maybe it's not so bad. Hikmat? He's not here. I'll check the library. Here you are.
You've become exceptionally good at finding me.
Sorry, I just followed your energy. Is it creepy?
No, not at all.
He gives me a small smile, but it's strange, tinged with sadness. His eyes move away from me, losing their focus, gazing at something I can't see. His body turns slightly away, his arms slack at his sides. A nightmare flashes before my eyes. Hikmat walking away into the darkness. For a second, the man in front of me seems to fade, his contours blurring. I grab his arm. He blinks, then stares at me, his eyes wide.
What is it?
Nothing. It's stupid, but I thought you were going to disappear. Oh boy. Remember what Alan's powers are. That worries me. Space-time, visions, future, past,
Alan.
Yeah?
There's something I haven't told you. Something about my past.
Oh, okay. What is it?
I already told you I was an embalmer, and people's worship elevated me to godhood. As my powers grew, I sought to advance my skills beyond ordinary means. I became interested in death magic.
Death magic?
Things such as better preservation of bodies, creation of artifacts to bury with the dead, for protection against necromancy or to ease the passing of restless souls. The souls that I protected carried goodwill for me into the underworld and strengthened my connection with it. The time I spent there increased beyond what was necessary. Eventually, the afterlife became my home. Over time, the practices I mastered began to fall to disuse. People stopped reserving bodies cleanly. Embalming and related funeral rites began to die out. I grew restless. I left the underworld to renew and reintroduce my funeral rites.
But it didn't work?
In the end, I did not try. I was distracted. I met a human mage who had an obsession with the temples and burial mounds I had built. He had been studying them and was eager to speak with me, to compare my accounts against his findings. I was curious about what had changed in my absence. I stayed with him. We grew close.
You fell in love with him.
I did, and at the time the feeling seemed mutual. I bound myself to him as his familiar. I believed if I nurtured his interest in the dead, he could create and introduce his own methods of helping souls pass more easily. I was hoping he would ascend as I had, and we could live together for centuries. However, his interest in the dead twisted. He didn't see any value in allowing souls to move on, but instead sought ways to draw them back, to control them.
A necromancer. Ugh.
He sought dominion over life and death, the power to choose who lived and died, to summon souls from the beyond.
That's horrible.
Yes, and what's even worse, with me bound he could. I could pass between the afterlife and the realm of the living. If he wished to speak to the deceased, he needed only to force my hand. And often it was not a matter of force. If he asked, I would comply, because I didn't want to lose him.
Damn, that's messed up. Hikmat bows his head, his eyes bright, his mouth set into a tight, painful-looking line. I stare at him, not knowing what to say. I don't even think the right words exist. This is why Hikmat was the way he was when we first met him. Very cold, very detached, aloof. And I think he, was very reluctant to trust Alan and to let his heart, open up. Can't blame him,
Hikmat, I know that's no excuse, but you loved him. People do stupid things for love.
The more he played with the barrier between worlds, the more restless he became. The tremendous power he wielded, it wasn't enough. He sought a method to banish a soul entirely, to keep it from taking root in this world or any other, to erase a person from existence.
That's
impossible? Unfortunately, no. I discovered the method. I had the spell work configured, ready to be delivered into his hands, but I couldn't do it. No matter how much I loved him, it wasn't enough. His greed would only grow. He became a threat to reality itself. He couldn't be permitted to go any further.
Hikmat, what did you do?
What else could I have done? I killed him.
Ah, Hikmat.
I was the only one who could do it, and there was nothing else, no other solution. At first, I believed death would temper his soul, bring him some peace.
Damn, to have to kill the one he loved, man.
I would visit him in the afterlife. At first, I talked to him, but it became too difficult, so I'd watch him instead. He never stopped seeking a way to return, and with even the faintest tie to me, there was a chance he'd find it.
So, you did it yourself?
Yes. I severed our ties through every method I had. I sealed my connection to the underworld. I could not go in. He could not come out. And now he is truly gone.
Wow. What a sacrifice. That's so sad. Ugh. You fell for the wrong person. That's so sad. Hikmat closes his eyes and lets out a shaky breath. When he looks at me again, his jaw is clenched, his face a shade paler than before. like he was waiting for me to judge him. It breaks my heart to see him like this. Slowly, I walk close to him and lift my hand to his cheek. I stroke it gently. Hikmat, I'm so sorry. You can't blame yourself. You said he could destroy the whole world. There was no other way. But I'm so sorry you had to do it. He leans into my palm, a small sigh escaping his lips. But then his eyes snap open, his expression close to panic. He takes a couple steps away from me, his muscles tensing. Any traces of emotion fade from his face. Well, anyway, that is a thing of the past. What we must focus on instead is the sheer amount of work we still have to do. No, Hikmat, come on. I thought that was a breakthrough. Why? Why are you pushing him away again? Wait, are we dropping it just like that? Don't you want to talk about it some more? I believe I've already said everything I wish to say. Now, concentrate. Ah. I clench my fists, but don't say anything else. I've already learned that Hikmat can be really stubborn. No kidding. My test results concerning the barrier are inconclusive. And since we don't know what it is, we're not going to attempt interacting with it. It's not safe, especially for a beginner like you. It seems the only solution is to locate the one who cast the barrier. You wish to find Theodore, correct? Do you know where he is? Of course not. If I did, I would have addressed it the first time you were injured. As his grandchild, your magic should have been his responsibility. Everyone has already searched for Theodore. We've cast several localization spells, but they were always unsuccessful. I see. However, we might have been lacking something. One of the ingredients needed to perform the spell is blood of a relative. We used preserved blood that belonged to Theodore's father, but perhaps the spell requires blood of a living family member. Grandpa's father? Why do you even have his blood? A wizard's blood can be a very potent magic ingredient. Theodore's father left samples of his blood to his son in case they were needed. Damn. Okay, that's new information. So, you need my blood? Do not be alarmed. A couple of drops will be enough. Oh, okay. Let's search for Grandpa then. If we find him, maybe he'll be able to lift the barrier himself. Or at least tell me how to do it. My primary curiosity is what this barrier is. It feels entirely different to anything I've experienced in the past. Which is saying something. Indeed. Let us begin. First, we need an item of Theodore's. Preferably something with traces of his magic. I have just the thing. Okay, let's get the diary or journal. Here it is. Grandpa's book. The poetry, of course. I suppose his excessive protection spells may finally have a purpose. Didn't they already have one? You know, protecting the book? Alan, I can read the book. Oh, right. I forgot. It would take more than a few simple memory charms to keep me out, though there is little point in circumventing them. At first I believed it was a journal of Theodore's experiments, so I gained access to it. Unfortunately, it is simply bad poetry. You read the whole book, didn't you? I needed to be certain. We're getting distracted. I need you to focus on the book. On the book or on the magic on the book? Excellent. You're thinking like a mage already. I'm going to pierce your finger now. Don't be afraid. He takes my hand and positions it above the book. Something pricks my finger, and I see a couple of red drops fall on the leather. Focus on the magic, not the spells themselves. Reach for the essence within. Find the common threads that make up the after-image of Theodore's magic. Your senses should seek it out naturally as you share blood. The instructions are as confusing as Hikmat himself, but I think I get it. He wants me to figure out which traces of magic are the spells themselves and which are just the way Grandpa's energy feels. I focus on the book the same way I did with Hikmat's magic in the garden. I dig through the first impressions to find the core. There's paranoia laced through each of the winding threads around the book. Grandpa was so scared of people judging his hobby. Now I'm worried about his mental state. I don't have time to focus on that, though. There's something underneath that feeling, something familiar, comforting. I reach for it. Okay, I think I've got it.
Allow me.
Hikmat comes close and loops an arm around me the way he often does when he trains me. I feel his magic lace in with my own, and a moment later he nods.
Indeed, that's Theodore's magic. Well done. Now, follow my lead.
Hikmat's magic surges through me, mixing with my own, pouring into the book. The journal starts to feel hot in my hands, almost burning my fingers. It won't explode, will it?
It's the protective spells reacting. Do not be alarmed. I have them contained. Find the common thread of Theodore's magic, and imagine it as one end of a tether. We are seeking the other end.
I concentrate, feeling for the magic. In my vision, I see shining orbs similar to mine gather. There's a heavy concentration of them around the book, and thin, loose clusters trailing away in one direction. I think I've got it.
I see it as well. Interesting.
Hikmat's magic flows through me, and I watch those tiny clusters of orbs condense, forming one large ball of light. Hikmat releases my waist. I try not to feel disappointed about it.
There, in theory, that will lead us to Theodore. You were able to do the majority of that spell yourself. You've truly learned a lot during our training.
Thank you. The ball shimmers and flies out of my room. We should follow it, right?
Indeed. Lead the way.
Grandpa's study, but no one's here. Did we miss something?
Theodore definitely isn't here, but neither are any magical artifacts or facts or tethers that could be mistaken for him by the localization spell. Something else must have happened. If I could sense any death energy, I'd assume Theodore perished here, and the spell is detecting his last location. However, there's nothing.
Wait, so if he died, if he went to the afterlife, this ball would find the last place he visited in this world?
Yes, that is generally how it works.
What if he has left this world?
There are no traces of death here.
But there are other worlds besides this one, right?
If he'd opened a portal to another world, it would have left a trace. Theodore is an advanced specialist in space-time manipulation, but even he cannot travel freely without some remnants left behind. In addition to that, the localization spell would have remained incomplete, but its journey ended here.
Hikmat! Then, what about that?
About what?
Time.
Time travel, I see. If you were in this location, but had altered time around him, the magic would still be tethered to this point. However, it would be stretched across the timeline of his life. It's a curious idea.
How do we reach him?
Time is volatile, and he's been gone for a couple of weeks now with no immediately evident results. It's possible he became trapped in the flow of time.
Trapped? How do we help him?
I'm not sure we can.
But we have to try. Hikmat, please, lend me your magic. Help me save Grandpa.
Of course.
Hikmat comes closer and pulls me to his side again. His power flows in and mixes with mine. I reach out for Grandpa's magic again. It comes more naturally this time. Maybe because I know what I'm looking for, or maybe because Hikmat does. So before we continue, because it looks like we're going straight to the good ending with us finding Grandpa, that discussion in the library that just happened where he told us about his past, I'm glad that happened, So we got the answer, but I don't see us getting to resolving that either. I don't know. I mean, clearly we're finding Grandpa, but I'm like, are things between us and Hikmat just gonna end with us so far? Like, just like that? I, I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. If we just end with us fighting Grandpa and that's it, I'll be kind of like, that's Hikmat's good ending? That'd be weird to me. That doesn't seem right. Okay, sorry. My brain is like, huh. Although I know some information, sometimes we can find more information through bad endings. Or not bad endings, but like middle of the road endings, because I think there are some more stuff we could find out through his other endings. That might be the case, actually. Interesting. Very interesting. We'll see what happens after we save Grandpa. Maybe there's more. It comes more naturally this time. Maybe because I know what I'm looking for, or maybe because Hikmat does. It doesn't matter who has more knowledge, more skill. We're working together, our minds and bodies acting as one, our magic intertwined. Our bond, everything we went through, it makes us stronger. Deep inside my soul, I feel warmth, loyalty, and love. But I don't know if this feeling is his or mine. I hope it's both. I can feel the way the study has been altered. Something about the space is crooked, distorted. I can see it, like a tear through the air in the center of the room. I reach for it, unraveling it, forcing it open. The study shifts. I see multiple layers stacked on top of each other. Versions of the study, each distinct in its own way. There's odd colors and lines where certain books overlap in different places. Books on the shelf closest to me shift constantly, going from brand new to worn, the lettering on the spine changing. I clench my teeth, my brain throbbing, overwhelmed by too much stimuli, but Hikmat's presence steadies me. His composure, his single-minded focus, they ground my mind. I push through, searching for the common thread, searching for Grandpa. Oh, there's the other ones. Instead, I see myself. Copies, no, versions of myself. Each one has a different aura, different power, but they're all looking for Grandpa. There they are. 4 versions of me in this moment, sharing a common goal, tying all our worlds together. Yeah. So no matter what, looks like they're all ready. Yeah. So we're gonna get them again. We all look at each other and smile. We're ready. See, the fact it says we're ready compared to in the past when it says one of them is not ready. That's so weird. We're ready. We know what to do and we're not afraid. We plunge deeper, beyond the study. We can feel the familiar energy getting closer. It's confused and afraid, but still it's calling to us. Finally, at the very bottom, we see a shape. We throw ourselves forward and grab it. Our fingers close around something solid. My other selves disappear. I need to go back, but I also need to stabilize the world around us. I reach for the threads of my reality, tracing my way back. But I can't. My magic's too fragile, too immature. I'm not strong enough to do something this huge. The threads pull me in different directions, stretching my body beyond its capacity. I'm not enough. Without help. Hikmat's energy floods in, almost desperate as it envelops me. This is not where you die, Ellen. I'm here. I will aid you. I claw my way back to Hikmat. His magic isn't the only thing I have to aid me now. His presence is a physical tether. I reach back for him, pulling away from that floating spiral of a collapsed universe. The spell closes off and vanishes. I can see a slight distortion of space in the middle of the study, but that's the only trace of anything happening here at all. I look at my hands, still holding. Hey, we got him. His arm is so thin, feels like it might break, so I pull my fingers away. His face is pale, his breathing shallow, but he's alive. His eyes are the same color as mine. This is probably going to be the same, but the only thing that might be different is their interaction with Hikmat, so that's why I'm not going to skip through it. His eyes are the same color as mine. He blinks a couple of times as they focus on my face.
Ellen?
Yeah, it's me.
It's really you. I haven't seen you in such a long time, but it must be you. But how?
It's kind of a long story, but what's important is that I learned magic and did a spell. I got you out.
Maybe it would have been better if you left me there.
Ah, there's Hikmat.
Alan has gone to great lengths to retrieve you, Theodore. You are being terribly ungrateful, and you are hurting his feelings.
Aw, Hikmat, you've learned.
Hikmat, it's okay.
No, he's right. I should be grateful to you, I know that, but my wife, my Ellie, she's gone. No matter how many times I've tried, I couldn't bring her back.
Why? What happened? Okay, so we already know this about the experiment, which is really sad. About the two girls, and that his wife died trying to protect the two girls. One of which was his aunt, and one was his mother. Yeah. So let's kind of speed through this. He kept trying time and time again with the past to save them, and very sad. Sorry, hopefully you guys have already seen this before, which you should have, with Empress, but, yeah, it's the same. Glad you're here, Grandpa, and, very touching moment. And they're trying to break the cycle. Trying to get to know each other. Very touching. Very nice. Hikmat and I walk him to his room and put him to bed. It won't be easy. Grandpa's a complicated man who's lost so much, but maybe I could help him heal. Maybe someday we could become a real family. Today might not be everything I hoped for, but it's a start. Hikmat, I did it! I saved Grandpa!
Yes, congratulations, you've accomplished your primary goal. You also stabilized our reality. I can't feel the barrier anymore.
It's true. I'm free.
That was an impressive display of magic. That spell should have shredded your body. At the very least, you should have been lost alongside Theodore.
Don't sound disappointed or anything.
I am not. I want you to live.
Yeah, I know. Thank you for helping me.
Of course.
No. Something... I... Are we not getting the best ending right here? I thought this was, but I'm getting a bad feeling. Maybe there is no best ending with him? I don't remember. You guys, I don't know. I'm getting a bad feeling right now from you, Hikmat. Oh no. No! I don't remember. Oh no! Hikmat, do I not get a good ending with you? Did I screw up? Did I choose the wrong path? Oh no! No, this has to be the best ending. I don't remember. Do we just never get a good... Is this like a bittersweet ending? Oh, I don't know. The only ending I really clearly remember was kind of a messed up ending, and it was really hot, but also really messed up. Oh no! Oh no, my feels! I have a bad feeling. Oh no. The corners of his mouth lift to form a small, sad smile. His eyes are bright. I'm just getting a bad feeling. His eyes are bright, and as they look into mine, my heart aches. It's like he's mourning, grieving for something that is truly lost.
The barrier is gone. You are free to live your life however you wish. You can return to medical university, or stay here and practice your magic, fulfill your potential. No matter what you choose, your keen mind and dedication will aid you along the way. You can become a master in anything you set your heart on. I am sure of it.
Why are you saying it like that? Like, why are you saying it like that? Like you won't be here to see it. Oh, I think my feeling was right, you guys. Oh no. Damn it, Hikmat.
I am truly fortunate to have met you, Alan, and I'm glad I could help you awaken your magic, reclaim your grandfather's legacy.
Hikmat, I don't understand.
No, don't do this. No. I thought we were gonna get a good ending. I'm so upset right now. I don't remember. Oh, I thought... No. No. Don't do this. Is this the one? I thought... Oh, I'm getting... Because... The reason I have a bad... There was an ending that... I thought it was the other one. But I don't remember. Maybe there is two endings like this. Oh, shoot. I don't remember. It hurts. Oh.
The spell, the energy of it was clarifying. I understand now what I was missing. I have the key I need to complete my bridge to the afterlife.
Yeah. I knew that's what you wanted.
This is good news, right? Then why?
When I return this body, it will cease to exist.
Shoot. I don't remember what happened. I'm sorry. This is hitting me. um it makes sense. He's immortal. He's tired. Oh, no. I thought we were getting a good ending.
You want to die?
It's different than the way humans perish. My body can't die, but it can be severed from my soul and converted to plant life when I move on to the underworld.
You can't just leave.
I decided a long time ago. Goodbye, Alan.
No! Wait! Oh, and all the foreshadowing from his dreams and stuff. Oh, that sucks. Binks is the type who cries easily over sad stuff happening in fiction. Oh, no! My Hickman and Alan, no! Alright guys, I gotta get through to the ending of this. This sucks. Hickman closes his eyes. and the air fills with power. It's cold and distant, like an ancient tomb beneath the earth. I take a step towards him, but my movements are slow. Too slow to reach him in time. The perfectly black hourglass appears before him. The sand inside is mixed with gray, and I realize it's the one from the desert of the dead. I can feel it, see it. It's within my reach. His voice sounds distant, distracted. I think the reason this hits me really hard is like, because you kind of feel bad for Hikmat because you're like, after what he went through with his past lover, his past, you know, person that he bound himself to, you kind of don't blame him, right? But then he met Alan, and you thought maybe he was falling in love with him and starting to feel again. But he had this plan all this time, and he probably was conflicted, probably was doubting. But then he told himself, you know, he helped Alan achieve his goals and that Alan would be okay without him. So he just convinced himself that he had to do it. He had to follow through his plans. But poor Alan, you know. That sucks. Because it always hurts the person left behind more, you know? Oh, this hurts. This really, really hurts. Damn it. Oh, Hikmat, you jerk. Even though I see where you're coming from, and I get it, because you're tired, and you just wanted to rest in peace or go to your home, because I guess he considered the afterlife his home, right? He even called it that. Why wasn't Alan enough for you to stay? And that's all Alan is gonna think, like, why wasn't I enough? That's so sad. That gray figure that, you know, is in his head. Everything it told him, having it come true, is just gonna, like, reinforce it, you know? It's awful. His voice sounds distant, distracted. I'm not sure he even realizes I'm here anymore. Hikmat! The ground under his feet starts to crack. Greenery shoots through the tiles like the grass sprouts did during our training. Is this time warping around him the way it did for me? Is this what he absorbed when I tried to rescue Grandpa? Time energy? Vines spring up, wind around his legs. He opens his eyes, his face devoid of expression. His eyes glow bright yellow, and I have to fight the urge to look away. Then, a light flares out around the study, and my eyes slam shut on reflex. When I open them, Hikmat is no longer here. For a moment, I just stare at where he was.
My stomach clenches, and I inhale sharply, my brain still trying to make sense of it. No! No, no, no! What the hell? I thought we had something and he... just like that... He can't be gone, he can't! I run to the cracks he left behind. I drop to my knees in front of the sprawling plants and sink my hands into the earth. I plunge into the ocean of energy and reach for Hikmat's magic the same way I did for Grandpa's. Oh, Alan. Good for you, bro. Oh, he's so determined. I won't let you go. If I have to go to hell to get you back, I will. Oh, Alan. The air around me grows cold, and I wrap my arms around my waist. I don't know if it's good for you to go there. My teeth chatter as harsh wind bites into my bones. I hear the sound of water. A smell of rich, wet earth surrounds me. The effect is disorienting. In front of me, there are dozens of places, all overlapping. A black water river, a pit full of bones, a blazing inferno, an endless field. Those are all different versions of afterlife or afterworld, whatever. Because I know the field is definitely one. Yeah. It's the same as looking for Grandpa, except instead of hundreds of versions of the same study, it's all entirely different places. Planes of the dead, I realize. Looking at all the different afterlives, yep. I try to remember what the ancient Egyptian afterlife is supposed to look like. Sand or reeds? It's hard to sort through the layers, but eventually I find the one. The others start to dissipate, and I'm left gazing at an endless expanse of sand. I see a familiar figure in the distance. Ah, only Alan is so determined and strong enough to chase after his man who chose literal death over him. Oh man, Alan, I hope this doesn't end sad. I hope you can get him back. But how are you gonna convince him? Because he literally chose death over you. Hikmat! Alan, there's something odd about his expression. Every time I try to focus on it, his features blur and fade away. Is it because he's abandoning his physical self? No, he would not have been able. An illusion. He must be. He would have been lost. The sands. Hikmat! Hikmat continues to mutter to himself, wandering off into the distance. I try to follow, but I can still feel the ghost of the tile floor under my knees, the phantom dirt on my hands. I'm not really here, just projecting. All at once, the sands in front of me shift and something new emerges from their depths. A large, ornate altar with a set of gilded scales. Oh yeah, because I know in Egyptian mythology, they mentioned the scales judging you and judging your soul to determine if you were a good or bad person, to determine where you're supposed to go, you know? Oh, that's not good. The air erupts with whispers, and they send shivers down my spine. Somehow, I know those are the sounds of the dead. A live heart. He shouldn't be here. Still, he cannot cross the sands without judgment. Very well. My chest erupts in pain, and if I didn't still kneel on the floor in another realm, I would have buckled under it. Yeah, his heart, and then the whole feather thing. I remember that. In front of me, the scales change. A heart appears on one plate, a feather on the other. Let us begin. The scales begin to tip back and forth ominously. You'll be fine. You're a good person.
I hear other voices, the ones from my past. Oh, this is where he should get closure, because we know he didn't cause the death of his parents, really. Please, Mom, pretty please. Everyone else has already been.
Alan, baby, we'll go some other day, okay? The weather's too bad for a theme park.
Ugh, me crying over these fools has shot my throat.
No, it's not. It's just raining.
No, 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 not this. The scales arc dangerously to one side.
Oh, all right. Get in the car.
Yay, thank you, Mom. You're the best. You spoil him, you know.
Hush, you. Get your coat. I've got no idea when I'll have another day off.
Fine, fine. I'll finish this later. They died on that road trip, didn't they?
A heavy burden for a young heart, and your aunt's blame fell on you. A shame.
There's a rumbling all around us, and the air explodes with boundless, absolute power. A familiar voice booms out. How dare you? I'm consumed by guilt, so much that at first I think he's talking to me. But then I feel a gentle hand on my back. Oh, he's wearing his helmet. We haven't really seen him with that. It's on the cover of the cover art, but you don't really see him with it until now.
Every human life is destined to end. You can't control when it happens. You could blame yourself for asking them to drive you. You could blame the car. Blame the workers who built it, the man who designed it. Blame the rain. Blame the sea where the water began. Blame the earth for turning, and each day for daring to pass ever since. I know there's no point in this because I myself have done this. Grief doesn't become easier to bear when you have someone to blame. It just tangles with anger, becomes stronger. Do not allow it to control your life. My heart surges. I feel a mix of relief, love, and grief. And beneath all that, anger. You left me. I did. I'm sorry. When it began, I was consumed. I could feel the sands at my feet, and I became consumed by the desire to begin my journey to the realm of the dead. But long before I reached it, I felt our bond again, and felt your heart touch my scales. My scales. None here have the right to judge you. Alan, think on what I said about giving power to one's grief. Do you know what happens if your scales do not balance?
Do I die?
No. Your name is summoned from the Book of the Dead, together with the record of your sins. You are then asked which ones you've committed, and you must be able to defend yourself. Your guilt, your grief, they will keep your heart heavy. But at the end, what matters is how well you did, given the circumstances. Alan, did you commit a knowing crime?
No. My voice leaves my mouth on its own. It sounds strange, like a stranger talking. No, I didn't do anything. I was a kid. I was just trying to spend time with my parents. It was an accident. Behind Hikmat, the scales reach equilibrium, coming to a complete stop, both plates dead even. The heart and the feather fade away, and the ache in my chest stops. In more ways than one. That enormous, suffocating weight I've been carrying, it's gone. No matter what my aunt said, no matter how much I blamed myself, Hikmat's judgment is absolute. Here we go. This is the closure that we needed. Weird how, like, This is why I had forgotten. Saving Grandpa's usually like really at the end of the route, but all of this stuff has happening after we saved Grandpa. And I had completely forgotten that. Wow. Sorry, this episode's gonna be really long. I'm gonna have to edit out a lot of stuff. Like all the parts of me crying over these two fools, thinking like, oh shit, we're gonna get a sad, bad ending with him leaving him. Okay, whew. Interesting.
I don't have to make up for anything anymore. I'm free. Hikmat, I thank you. It is done. You have passed the trial. But you don't belong in this world. You are free to leave. What about you? This body has been alive for too long. It's time to rest. What about us? The time we shared? Are you going to abandon me? Just like that? Alan, I've been dead in every way that counts for hundreds of years.
Bullshit. Maybe at first. But the more time we spent together, the more you changed. At first, I didn't even know we could feel each other's emotions, because you were so closed off. But later, I felt more and more like you were waking up.
You don't understand. Humans idolize immortality, but it is a curse. After a few centuries, it begins to set in. You've seen everything, learned everything you wish to know. The luster dulls. You see kingdoms fall, wonders lost to the ages. Those that spring up in their place lose all appeal. They're beautiful, but temporary. You can't see the rise without anticipating the fall. The heart hardens and closes. You no longer wish for new experiences, new knowledge, new love. You have experienced it all, and you have experienced the loss of it.
Yeah, exactly. Ugh. I don't know how he's gonna convince him.
You become tired.
Then, why did you become my familiar? If you wanted to end it all, why even bother? Exactly! Why did you get Alan's hopes up? Why did you make him fall in love with you if you were just gonna break his heart like this? It's like you used him. And that feels like that's exactly what he did.
I suppose my interest in you was unusual. It had been a long time since I'd felt something that strongly, since I'd wanted something. But this doesn't change anything.
Like hell it doesn't. You liked spending time with me. You even showed me your true form. I bet you thought I'd be disgusted, huh? You wanted to get rid of me, but I stayed. You told me it was okay to use my magic to help people. And you were so excited to train me. We had so much fun. We even managed to go on a date. Remember Slagathor's face?
Yes, it was a thing to behold, but
You told me you're no longer alone, because you have me.
everything you said, it's true. Since the beginning of our bond, I have felt things more intensely than I have in ages. But I can't stay.
You're scared, aren't you? He blinks at me, his eyes huge under his mask. He drops his gaze as the realization dawns on him. You ran from me first chance you got, because you're terrified of letting anyone in. And after what you went through with your last guy, I don't blame you. But you have to give Alan a chance. You have to see how different he is from your last guy. You can't compare. The person you loved, what he became, what you had to do. It must have hurt so much. I get it. No one likes pain. It's easier to just shut down. He still won't look at me. I take a deep breath. I'm the same.
I'm scared of getting hurt, but I'm more scared of losing him. Hikmat, I love you. You know this, right? You must have felt it. But why? Why would you love me? Do I need a reason? I just do. I love the way you look when you put your heart into something. How you don't always understand what I feel. You try to cheer me up anyway. I love that you showed me what magic is. I love that you have a comfort food. I love your smile. So it appears you do have reasons. Only you would say something. You dork. Always the scientist, huh? I'm sorry. I simply don't know what to say. You know, I'm scared of getting hurt too. But I want to try. Won't you try with me? Hikmat doesn't respond. For what seems like an eternity, we're just standing there, at the edge of the afterlife. Finally, he opens his mouth. It's time I took my own advice. Marrying one's grief to anger gives it too much strength, but so does marrying it to fear. I can no longer be afraid to feel. Does it mean... Yes! Yes! Alan, you did it! Oh, we avoided a sad ending, thank God. Ugh. Okay, so the one I remember was the other... Oh, because that one messed me up, y'all. I can't go into details, but there was an ending that did not go well. Of course. You know, there's always going to be not so good endings, and that one, oh Lord. That one hurt. That one hurt really bad. Oof. That whole playthrough actually hurt really bad. So, whew, I was not going to show you guys that one. That one would have been so uncomfortable for all of us. All of us. I think you guys would have been cringing the whole time. It would have been awful. So, so awful. I think if you remember some of the options that we had, I think you guys could figure out which one. Oh, but the end. Oh, so glad we avoided that one. I was worried that that was what we're gonna get, like something similar to that. So, whew, dodged a bullet, y'all. I literally was over here sobbing. I'm gonna have to edit out so much. Oh, okay. Whew. Don't do that to me, Hikmat. I was scared, baby. Y'all, man, don't do that to me. Shoot. He walks to me and takes my hand. Yes, now you guys get your happiness. Hopefully your body will be totally okay and normal back in the real world. Come on now, hurry up. I believe that one day I will still seek to return to the afterlife. But you are right. It was not a desire to rest driving me here. It was fear. I was simply running away. When I'm truly finished, with a genuine desire to rest driving me, then I will pass. But not now. Not as long as I have things to live for. Yeah. I think, like, after Alan is gone, and if you literally have no one else in your life, then you can rest. I totally don't blame you then. But as long as you still have Alan, like, dude, what the hell? Hikmat. Let us go home. Aw, you're warming up to me. Alan, I warmed up to you a long time ago. We are beyond that now. What? Does it mean... that feeling when we merged the mansion back with my world? I thought it was my own. That... Are you going to say it? Put him on the spot. He's like, dude, I literally chased you into the afterlife. You owe me. You punk. You little punk. I'm not sure I remember how to love. But with you, I would very much like to explore that feeling. and every other.
Aww, look at that face. That's a new one for him. Aww, cute. That's... Jeez. That's the best pickup line I've ever heard. Who said you're bad at talking? I'll do my best to help you. We'll learn together, okay? You teach me magic, I'll teach you humanity.
An exchange of knowledge. A fair deal.
And there's no barrier now, so we can go anywhere. Like therapy. You said it! Therapy would be nice. I think everybody needs it. Yeah, you definitely need that too, Alan. Just kidding. No, I think you should do that.
I really have much to learn with you.
Good thing you're so smart. We smile at each other. I know Hikmat isn't all the way there yet. Oh, look at them, they're so cute! But he really wants to try, and I believe that one day he'll be happy he chose to stay with me. Let's go home.
Yes.
He reaches out and wraps a strong arm around my back. I feel his magic flow through me, and the phantom earth around me shifts. I blink. I'm on the floor of Grandpa's study, Hikmat kneeling beside me. He brushes the wild vines away and smiles at me. I grin back, then press my lips. Alright, so unfortunately, I have to edit the last image because of course it was them naked in a bed together. I screenshotted it so you guys will see the censored version. But the last lines were really nice and I wish you guys could have heard it, but it was basically him saying that him and Hikmat don't know how much time they'll have together, but that wizards do have like an extended life period and that they can slow their aging. So they'll see, you know, how much time they can have together, but they'll enjoy it while it lasts and, you know, blah, blah, blah. So it was really nice and lovely. And I do like this title, You and Me in This Moment. So I'm happy that they got their happy ending, because man, did they scare the hell out of me. Oh, I thought it was going to be so... It was sad. It was sad, okay? Ugh, but I thought it was going to be worse. Like, y'all scaring the heck out of me like that. Sheesh. Alright, so anyway, that's my other favorite playthrough, or route, him and Hikmat, because they're so cute, and I felt so bad for Hikmat and everything, you know, the storyline, what he went through and all that. So, like I said, I will not spoil everything else with Hikmat's other routes, but I think I dropped enough hints of some of the stuff that happens. So, next playthrough, let's, yeah, let's go to the title screen. We did it! We finished Hikmat at last! God, that's gonna be a long episode. I have to do a lot of editing for that one. Whew, finally. Alright, so we have finished 3 of the of the 4 on the main screen. We also have Slagathor. So finally, next episode, we will begin with Momo. Our fox boy, who, I have not decided yet what route I will do for him. I'm probably not going to give you guys, like I said, the good ending, but I'm going to pick an interesting one. I'll say that. Let me pick something interesting, something different. So we'll see. It should be interesting for sure. Fun. Yeah. Momo's an interesting guy, so you'll see. You'll see. But thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed this and the roller coaster the Hikmat's route was for me emotionally, especially this episode. Damn, he put me through the ringer, man. Alright, and until next time, have a nice day. Bye-bye.